My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now. Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramerica. I've been with my friends. I'm just trying to make some money. My job is not just to entertain, but to teach, put it in context. And we need that. So call me at 1-800-743-CNBC or tweet me at Jim Cramer. Everybody has an opinion on short sellers. Some view it as a sin. They don't want anyone betting against their favorite stocks, or they try to destroy the shorts when the shorts get too arrogant. Others see short sellers as bold contrarians, making their names by profiting from going against older, more seasoned investors. But as someone who's been at this for 40 years, I can tell you both of these frameworks are way too personal. You can't take investing personally. You got to take a page from Michael Corleone and realize when something's strictly business. That goes double on a day like today, where the Dow dipped 128 points, S&P slipped 0.02%, but the Nasdaq jumped 0.70%. If you ever read my mentions column on Twitter, and be careful if you don't like scatological phrases, there are always some funny guys, 25 hours a day, telling you to short anything I recommend. Sell. I hope they're just joking, because I'm about to show you today would have been an awful strategy to embrace. Case in point. Advanced micro devices. Let me tell you a story. See, until 5 years ago, when the stock was at $5, I despised the living daylights out of AMD. I remember from the era of the late, great Andy Grove, who ran Intel when it was just a lean, mean fighting machine. Maybe one of the greatest manufacturers on earth. Oh, Grove could have wiped out AMD with a heartbeat. But I always figured you had to let them survive because they were the only meaningful competitor left. So letting them go under would have caused Intel a real headache with the Justice Department. In short, AMD was kept alive by Intel itself. Then 5 years ago, I met Dr. Lisa Su, the new CEO. I told her that I had been an Intel-aholic, but given the company's recent mismanagement, I was in recovery. Still, I insisted there was no way I could get behind AMD. No how, no way. For the next hour and a half, she took me to school, and not gently, explaining the roadmap she created to erase Intel's dominance by out-engineering the once great semiconductor giant. She is an engineer. I left that meeting with a sense that I not only had to abstain from Intel, but I had to belly up to the bar and make mine an AMD. Subsequently, I spoke to people in the semiconductor industry, and you know what? Our story checked out. I created a slew of potential customers, many of them once Intel boosters, and they were busy sampling and liking AMD's new chips, in part because Intel dropped the ball and gave them an opening. And that's when I started pounding the table on AMD. That's when it happened. That's when I embrace it. Since then, the stock's run from $5 to just under 98. That's a remarkable performance, one of the world's best, one that would wipe out any of these joker short sellers or pretend short sellers. While Intel, what did it do? It meandered from 36 to 53. Intel now has a new CEO. He's done his best to sow seeds of doubt about AMD. But this morning's quarter shows that I made the right call when I decided to go from Intel-aholic to AMD addict. Advanced micro devices is now several years ahead of what Intel's offering. Don't believe otherwise. And everything from personal computers to high-performance computers. And don't even get me started on graphics chips, where Intel is a non-entity. And only the vaulted NVIDIA is competition. Lately, AMD stock has been held down because the company is trying to acquire Xilinx, another semiconductor company, to get more Internet of Things and telco exposure. The deal's been delayed by the regulators, particularly in China. But sooner or later, it's going to get approved. That's why you need to own AMD now, because as I always used to tell my clients, stocks that go to 100 go to 120. Oh, of course, what was I doing? I was being facetious. I always like to put a little humor in the process. But there is a grain of truth to the observation. AMD stock is a monster. Lisa Su is in the same league as her competitor Jensen Huang, although I got to tell you, NVIDIA's in a perennial first place. They may be the two best designers of chips in America, or perhaps even the entire world. When the Xilinx deal closes, probably by year-end, it will be immediately additive to earnings, making AMD stock look cheap versus its peers. Buy! Then how about another Cramer fave that they probably shorted or claimed they shorted? I'm talking about Alphabet Yeah, it used to be Google. Here's a company that's the best at what it does, and it does pretty much everything. It has the best advertising model in the form of Google search. It's got the best one in terms of YouTube, the latter reaching young people who no longer watch traditional TV. A great break for advertisers trying to reach that hard-to-reach cohort. It has the best self-driving car technology, Waymo, and Google Cloud is already giving Amazon and Microsoft a run for their money in cloud infrastructure. I'd be careful of their new competitors because, boy, I think this Google Cloud's about to explode. Best of all, Alphabet is some of the smartest people on earth. We're constantly improving this cash machine. If you listen to the conference call, and I suggest you do, you're going to hear, I think they're trying to restrain their glee the way it used to be at Netflix. Remember, one of my legion of detractors, Jimmy Chill's favorite Alphabet, has been a terrible short. It scorched Facebook, by the way, which reported tonight. Although I have to tell you, I think the latter did its best to hold down expectations. That's a perennial thing. People fall for it all the time. All right, what about a truly hated stock like Boeing? Sell. Now, you might have thought shorting a company that's supposed to lose a lot of money would be like shooting fish in a barrel, machine gunning them. But instead, Boeing crushed it. I was thinking they could only shake off if only they could shake off the 737 MAX woes, maybe the 787 tribulations, after they'd done a gigantic equity offering, maybe $25 billion, gotten through 2 years of suffering. It might be interesting. No! After this quarter, I still expect an equity offering, but it should come at a much higher level. Some say 300, because no matter how much the Chinese government may despise us, they need lots of commercial aircraft. And boy, do they despise us, and do they need aircraft. And there are only two companies in the world that make aircraft at scale. China can't buy them all from Airbus. Boeing feels real good to me after today's spectacular report and my talk with CEO David Calhoun. Now, look, I know the Delta variant can slow the economy. It's a given that it'll all put pressure on sales for all sorts of things. We have far too many people who refuse to get vaccinated. More on that later. Although maybe they'll get religion on vaccines now that COVID cases are exploding in Texas, 10,000. Not since February have we seen that. Meanwhile, it's obvious that the Chinese government has decided it wants to be a communist regime in more than name only. I often wonder if the Biden administration understands that an unrepentant, belligerent China still relies on the rest of the world for its funding. They need access to our stock markets, and their economy is fueled by countries like ours buying their exports. We are addicted to their cheap stuff, and they know it. You can't even get those big container ships out of Haiphong Harbor. It's too shallow. Apple and Starbucks, though, had exceptional Chinese sales. But some big plane orders with Boeing would be a lot more helpful if they want to extend an olive branch and continue to sell hundreds of billions of dollars of merchandise to the United States of America. Finally, if not for the Delta variant, I think we would have heard a tougher line from the Fed today after starting the process of liquidating its vast bond holdings, or at least taper down the bond buying, which at this point seems pretty unnecessary to me, especially since it looks like Congress may actually be able to pass a big infrastructure bill. So the Fed was lenient. Jay Powell smarter than the average bear once again. The bottom line, today was a day to celebrate owning the stocks of the best companies out there, not to short them, and, of course, to mourn the short sellers who bet against them simply to be Jimmy Chill contrarians.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @JimCramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.